Hey there, welcome to day 80 of our annual challenge, our BU 365 day challenge. Do one thing every day that improves us in some way. Now I was going to talk about identity today. We're focusing on our mental well-being for the month of March, but I decided for some reason, I was researching some things and I found a list of ways to be mentally strong or mentally stronger. And I thought, what a great list to share with people. We can use it as a way to kind of check in and on our own progress and see, do we do these things in order to become more mentally fit, more mentally strong? Or if we don't, are there some that we could explore? So I'm going to share this list with you briefly. And as I go, I'll tell you the ones that I do, and I'll tell you the ones I need to work on a little more because I am not necessarily great at them. But I probably could be if I want to be more mentally strong. So number one, focus on the present moment. Do you live in the now, or are you thinking about the past or worrying about the future? Anytime you're spending thinking about the past or worrying or thinking about the future, not planning for the future. Planning for the future pacing is good and helps us to prepare and be mentally strong. But most of our time needs to be spent in the present moment, being present with the people and the situations and the experiences that we're currently living. Focusing on the present moment, I would say when I was younger, I seldom, if ever, focused on the present moment. I would be there, but my mind was somewhere else almost all of the time. And the older I got, the more I realized what I was missing out on by not being attentive to the situation and the experience that I was a part of right now. Number two, embrace adversity. Yeah, that's a tough one for a lot of us. Sometimes I want to just choose not to participate and run away, but I know that adversity shows up in our lives and in my life, as well as yours, to show us something, to teach us something for a reason. It just doesn't show up willy-nilly. It's there either as a result of consequences and decisions and choices we've made before, or to show us that we need to think differently or behave differently or do something different than we have in the past. Number three, exercise your mind. Do things that keep your mind sharp. The older I get, the more I find I like doing these things because I don't want to forget things. I want to have a mind like a steel trap, like we're going to talk about in our Supersize Your Business idiom today. I want to be sharp up until the end, right? I don't want to be forgetting things. And I do, like everybody else. As we get older, we forget things. You know, you walk into the kitchen to get something and you're like, what'd I walk in here to? Are you for? Or I'll say, where's my cell phone? And I'll be holding it in my hand or something. We all have those. I call them senior moments. Now that I'm a senior, I can call them senior moments. Number four, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exercise your mind. Challenge yourself is, I skipped something. Exercise your mind. Okay, this was 3. 4 is challenge yourself. So find ways to continually improve and grow and become a better version of you all the time. That's what this challenge is all about. Just doing one little thing every day to get to know yourself better, to choose and take more personal responsibility in how you want to behave and how you want to show up in the world. Number 5, respond positively. Okay, in a world that's very, very negative, this one can be a big challenge. But when we respond positively, or sometimes consciously choose not to participate, that can be, if it's not negative, it leans more toward positive. Number 6, be mindful. Pay attention to what you're paying attention to. Do things on purpose more than just randomly do things. Number 7, don't be defeated by fear. Again, a tough one for most of us human beings because there's so many things set up to make us feel more afraid. But the truth is, most of the things that we're afraid of, I would say 99% of the things that I've ever been afraid of in my life have never happened, never come true. And the one didn't kill me, so it's all good. Number 8, be aware of your self-talk. Again, this is a lifelong project for some of us to be aware of and pay attention to. Are we having negative self-talk or are we having positive self-talk? I have got an automatic negative voice in my head. For the longest time, and this was hard to admit, I remember waking up one morning and realizing that the voice I heard first in my head was that of my ex-husband. Now, he was my ex-husband, and he'd been my ex-husband, for like 5 years. And I realized one day with shock and dismay and awe that that was the first voice I heard in my head. It wasn't my own voice. And so I erased his voice and put my own voice in there. And that made a huge difference in how strong I was mentally. So it's amazing how many things on a subconscious level are affecting us, and we aren't consciously aware of it until we're ready to be consciously aware of it, and then we do something about it. Mindful. Don't be defeated by your fear. It's easy to feel bad when we make mistakes or are afraid of something, but we're all afraid of stuff. We're all afraid of some things. I don't like snakes. I don't like spiders. I don't like anything without legs that can move that fast. So I'm also not so much anymore, but I used to have a terrible fear of heights. I think it's because I fell off a jungle gym on my head in like first grade or something in grade school. Number 9, rid yourself of can't. Now this is one of my favorites because when we were little girls, I grew up with a family of all sisters. My dad taught us that there's no such thing as can't. One of the things I heard come out of his mouth regularly was, we would say, I can't do something. You know, little girls want their dad to do stuff for them. So we'd say, Dad, I can't do this. And he'd say, there's no such thing as can't. And then he'd show us how to do it. And then we would do it. And I learned early on that I can say I won't do it. I can push against it. I can decide that I don't want to participate. I can make excuses. But there's very few things that we cannot do if we get creative and put our mind to doing it. We can achieve just about anything. 10, stumble towards success. And this one speaks to failure and how do we respond to failures? Because we're all going to have them. All of us have failures. The truth is, the most successful people you've ever seen or will meet have had probably 5 to 10 times more failures than we have, than I have, than you have, because they're willing to go up to bat more often. They'll try new things, they'll do new things, and they know that everything that they try that doesn't work is just a stepping stone leading them to the final success that they want to achieve. And I adopted that a long time ago, that failing and failure is just lessons learned. The only way I can lose really long term is if I give up, throw in the towel and quit and never try to do that thing again. After I lost my vision, I tried to play tennis for like 10 years after that. I lost the vision in my left eye first. And what happens when you can only see out of one eye is you have zero depth perception. So I would go out and try to play tennis with my friends, and they were very patient with me, but I would miss the ball by like 3 feet or so. And I never put enough time and energy into making it okay and figuring out how to compensate for that vision weirdness. But I did try for a long time and I got better and better, but I never got to be a great tennis player again because I could only see out of one eye. And it became less important to me than other things that I was pursuing. So even though we fail, we'll keep trying until we find solutions. And that leads us to number 11, which is find solutions. So what did I do? I found other activities that I enjoyed as much as or more than playing tennis. And I used to love to play tennis in high school and in grade school, high school, and even in college until I lost my eyesight in my late college career. I loved playing tennis. So I had to find solutions that would give me that same love of an energy and physical fitness and activity and something to do that I love to do. I had to find different alternatives and then put them into play. One of the things I've noticed during the whole pandemic, all the COVID, now with all whatever's going on in the media at any given time, is the people that are solution focused and figure out ways to make things work really stand out compared to the people that are problem focused. And it's kind of like night and day once you start to notice it. When you become a solution focused person, you notice that there's more solution focused people, but you also notice that the vast majority of the population is not solution focused. They are problem focused. And that's because the media and the whole world and our education system focuses on the problem and getting the right answer, but it forgets to remind us that there's always more than one right answer. Number 12, be grateful. That one goes without saying. We will talk about that throughout this year. Number 13, brace yourself for storms, because life is like a roller coaster ride. There's ups and downs in all of our lives, and things are going to happen like COVID-19 that we could never have even anticipated. So we want to be prepared and ready in ways that remind us that we have the ability to get through anything if we put our mind to it. 14, define your moments, meaning remember all of the good things and all the successes and all of the things that you've done well and continue to do well. And then 15, make being mentally strong an everyday project. Make it an everyday pursuit. You're always trying to be more mentally strong, more mentally fit, more alert, more wise. So positive, prepared, willingness, discipline, focus, and the long-term view. Those are 6 characteristics of people I found that are mentally strong. How many of those do you have? So our action item today is to think about and share, what is your favorite way to stay mentally strong? What do you do right now? And then maybe, is there one other thing on this list that you haven't considered that you would like to explore? I know that I make things an everyday pursuit, so that's not one. Define my moments. I could probably do a better job of that, and maybe bracing myself for storms, because although I have plans and things in place, we can always shore that up. I could always shore that up and be better at that. All right, that is our challenge for today. Like I said, we're going to talk about identity, but we'll talk about that tomorrow, because for some reason I felt like we needed to talk about being mentally strong first. All right, any questions, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Be mentally strong on Monday. Bye.